He's gonna do it now.
What?
Do it now?
Yeah.
You guys ready for us?
Jake, why do you think Spence versus Crawford could have gone
You can do whatever you want.
guy.
You got like 10 million, 10 trillion on you.
You can stand.
You got a little bit too much money in the green.
Yeah.
Jake, you mentioned problems with boxing.
Came out of nowhere, man. Explain to me where you think of that.
Man, it just needs to be done. It needs to be done. We need to work towards that. And the fighters need to band together, and Anderson's the perfect guy, right? He's all of our idols, all the fighters' idols, so he could be a very powerful figure, and this type of thing just needs to happen for fighters.
Were you surprised he said yes?
I was surprised at how fast he said yes, you know, and I guess that just goes to show like how much he knows that this needs to happen as well. But it's just exciting. So now I have even more motivation to win because I really want to get that done.
I'm sure you also don't want to kickbox.
I don't want to fucking get no, absolutely not.
When did you think of that? Like, when did you come to that idea for that?
You know, since signing up to fight with him, I've thought that he would be a great figurehead to help with fighters banding together. And I've always just had conversations about this, and you know, we thought of GSP, and really we need everybody. You know, it's not just like a couple fighters who are going to be able to pull this off. But he's a legend, right? He's one of the most respected ever, and that's important, right? Because I think a lot of fighters have animosity towards me, so they might not listen to me. So I need help in getting this done.
He was very specific that he wants to do all MMA and not just UFC fighters. I mean, logistically, how do you think something like that can be executed?
I think it should be all MMA and then all boxing as well. You know, it should just help all fighters because that's truly what's needed. But I think we'll start with MMA first.
Hey Jake, I had two questions. Just one in regards, you mentioned about fights not being made. Obviously, I'm sure you wanted to see Spence and Crawford in that fight. Was that also one of the unfortunate things that you were talking about that boxing isn't getting done?
Yeah, no, it sucks, and it sucks for the fans. The fans are the ones that get hurt, and it's bad. This is why the sport has gone to bad places before. It's gone to scary moments where you think the sport's gonna end up dying out because big fights like this aren't happening. Like why didn't we get Fury Joshua? You know, like there's just so many instances where big fights should be made and they're just not. And I don't know what it is, you know, and no one will ever know. And that's what's frustrating because people just say it was him, it was them, it was this, it was that promoter, it was the rights, blah, 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 and you never really actually know the truth. So that's why I commend the UFC actually, is getting those big fights to happen and making those mandatory fights, and that's why they've had so much success.
And my second question is, I spoke with Deji not too long ago, and he put you as the pound for pound on his list for the crossover boxers. But he's going to be facing Floyd Mayweather. You face Deji. I just wanted to just get your thoughts on that.
I mean, Deji has a lot of heart, man, but, you know, it's just a different beast in there with Floyd Mayweather. You know, my brother had a power advantage, a speed advantage, a height advantage. Deji's really outnumbered all the way around the board.
Jake, you said Dana White has done everything in his power to sabotage this match. What exactly has Dana done?
Man, the list goes on, and you know, some of it I can't even speak on. But he's been sending like cease and desist for my content promoting this fight, and just doing things behind the scenes that are really shady. And we're just like finding out more and more stuff as the promotion goes on. I'm sure I'll speak on it more at a later date.
Why is Jake so preoccupied with you?
I think it's because I'm the number one figurehead that is exposing his business model and how much of a shark he is and how poorly he treats his fighters. And he said I wouldn't fight Anderson Silva, who's one of UFC's greats, and now here I am fighting him, and he largely in part promoted that. He's the one that, you know, he's the reason why I took this fight, is to prove him wrong and to shut him the hell up.
Are you aware that he banned a friend of yours from coming to events because you came along?
Yeah, he banned me too.
But are you aware that he banned your friend?
Yeah, he banned all of them that came together. So he's just he's doing anything he can to stop me and my friends, I guess.
Jake, he recently came out and said that he doesn't want people to talk about you anymore at his press conferences.
Yeah, it's that, and he's also telling reporters, like you said, not to talk about me because he doesn't want my fights to be big. He wants to be the only cash cow in town. He wants to run the fight game, and I'm a threat to him being able to do that.
Do you think he'll mention you after this fight, win or lose, being that?
I mean, I think the media will bring it up, and then he'll just go, "Stop asking me fucking questions about this guy."
Do you think George being a part of this whole promotion and the broadcast, do you think the Fighters Union would be something that you'd be able to get him into as well?
For sure, and I think George has tried this in the past, and we need all the help we can get, and people will need to be selfless and use their platforms to create this and to make it an amazing thing that is forever. Like, this is not just a 10-year thing. This is not just a couple years. This is something that could stand forever.
Jake, with the changes going on in boxing, but with you being such a phenomenon and a cash cow in your own right, with there being no major sanctioning belts on the line, do you think that your problem with a lot of the sanctioning bodies and other people is you represent change in boxing? Like, the belts don't matter as much.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's one of the problems for sure. And that, like, there's so many different types of champions and regional, and there needs to be, I mean, there's not going to be, but there needs to be one belt. I mean, that would be ideal. So, I mean, that's one of the many problems there are in the sport of boxing, for sure.
Jake, at the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, I got a chance to sit down and talk to Mauricio Sulaiman, and I mentioned an idea to him, and I'm going to float it to you as well, about like a legacy fund. A lot of these champions that have held these big sanctioning bodies belts are heralded, but they're not receiving any monthly compensation for the acts that they've done, like some sort of a pension. Would you be in support of something like that for them to stay relevant in boxing?
For sure, and that goes back to the United Fighters Association, is things like these fighters being covered for retirement for all the amazing things that they have done for the sport, and in damn near all the other leagues, these athletes get some sort of pension or retirement if they play for a certain amount of time. So for sure, the champions who are improving the sport should be able to retire and not have to worry about whatever it is that they're going to do.
Jake, you mentioned that Dana White has sort of been trying to sabotage this event. Has there been just like minor headaches, or do you guys have to like put out some big fires?
There's been some big fires. I can't really talk about it, but I'm sure the truth always comes out.
Jake, how much concern do you have? White's a titan in this game, right? And you say he feels threatened. Like,
yeah.
Is that in a way motivating?
No, it's a great sign. It's a great sign, and what he doesn't realize is he's just adding fuel to the fire. But he's trying to do anything he can to stop me. But it is cool that I am so on his radar that he feels threatened enough to care this much to try and sabotage my event.
Jake,
the people on Answers on the better ticket. What round are you ending the fight, Jake?
Man, I'm thinking it's going to be round 3. Get your better ticket. You can win $100,000. Stop playing.
Thank you, everyone. About the
Last night
meeting coming up at Anderson in a few hours.
No, not concerned.
That's it. We're done. Come. Thank you all.
Sorry, guys.
See you tomorrow, guys.